What's good, YouTube? Is Coffee back at it with an update, man. And it seems with this, Drake Kendrick beef that has been dominating the news is wild today. There was a shooting, a drive-by at Drake's Toronto home. It's just been a wild week in the blogosphere, to say the least. But Wack100, who has been campaigning heavily for Drake, as I seen the other day. I'm sure a lot of y'all seen. He was even breaking down, like he was playing Law and Order SVU, the DA. Like he was breaking down federal actual assault statutes and whatnot. And, he was like, yo, Drake's in the clear. It's all good. You know what I mean? He had the legal statutes all posted up, like he's going hard body for Drake. But it seems this West Coast veteran, this legend, West Coast Cam, has called Wack100 out to maybe a debate, a discussion. I know Jumper, and I just come across this. Check it out. So Wack reposted this. This is from a West Coast Cam post, and you see Farrakhan, Rick Ross, a bunch of individuals pictured, and then this picture of Drake that is from this interview with Rosenberg, which I covered in another video that my son had did, where it was like early on Drake. You see that's like throwback Drake, when he was just really touching down in the game, running with Young Money and all that. And him and Rosenberg were talking about like how he was the Jewish hope in this rap game. You know what I mean? That like he was like, yo, as the Jewish media approached you, yet like you're about to be bigger than ever. This is huge. And you see then in the bottom he has Drake in some kind of Jewish services, and then on the other side Drake in blackface. And I just got to point out and say, everyone knows that came out during the beef with Pusha T. And I was surprised. I was talking to the bro the other day that blew over in the way in which it did. Like it came and went. It was so crazy. Like when I first saw that comment, y'all, if you guys remember when that came out, like at first I was like, is this real? Did Drake do this? Did Drake wear blackface? And then if I'm not mistaken, I believe the clothing brand in which it was like a shoot for was called Jim Crow Couture, I believe. I think that's what it was. It was something about Jim Crow. And I was just like, this is crazy. Like, what would make Drake do this? And then it kind of just blew over. It was a bit perplexing to me, if you will. Comment if you remember all that, your reaction, your thoughts. But peep it. This is a West Coast Cam post where it says, who is hip hop's true spiritual leader? And then Wack tags West Coast Cam, and he says, since when did religion play a part in hip hop? If this is the case, let's erase all the hits Scott Storch produced. Let's talk about it respectfully. Let's keep this where it's supposed to be, bar for bar. So Wack's, saying, hey, like, let's respectfully talk about this bar for bar. If religion plays a factor, fuck what Scott Storch did, fuck any of that, let's talk about it bar for bar. Let's see what the people are talking about in the comments here. Neither one of them, they all lost. West Coast Cam says, let's talk about it on No Jumper, unless y'all scared to have me on there. I can address that and address your boy Vlad and Peter Rosenberg. He calls them both hashtag culture vultures, but I don't do Clubhouse. Someone says that's right. Checkmate. Bareback 100. There's a wild name, right? I don't know if to say pause or not. He says he's already ducking a conversation like he does fades. Damn. Danny Boy 13 says he tags West Coast Cam and Adam22. Ronnie Polo Mathis says, LOL, the name to bear. Yeah, I felt the same way. This is a guy who's laughing. And surprisingly, Wack not in the replies there. He doesn't respond to that call out for a sit down. Like he was telling West Coast Cam, let's sit down and talk. He's telling him, let's do it. I'm doing it on No Jumper. Fluck Clubhouse. I wonder if Wack got hot about that. Like, oh, you want to do it on, well, what's wrong with Clubhouse? Then someone else says, you riding with Drake against the West Coast? Someone says, he got to ride with Drake, who funds Cash Money West. Someone says, Kendrick is East Coast now. Wag says, I ride with my decisions. don't care about no region. This is music. Interesting. So the whole West Coast thing don't mean ish to Wack. Now, I swear I've seen Wack talk that West Coast ish numerous times. Maybe I'm bugging. Maybe I'm tripping. Jump in the comments and let me know. Then this guy says, Dodo078 says, I respect that, but you know rap beef gets deep. That's the same ish that got Biggie and Pac killed. Then this guy, Kenny Banker, Thou Wow says, facts. He talk that tough-ish to us. He don't play with them. Then this guy, Drew the Don NYC, he says, then delete Scott Storch. Then like hip-hop, give a fuck. And so someone says, then I guess you aren't a fan of The Chronic, 2001, 50-year game, because that's Scott Storch on them tracks. On the main tracks. Drew Don says, what 50 was hot without him, Dre was hot without him, and I can care less about the game. Dude says, okay, bro. Then Wack says, you gotta be a kid that would change the course of hip-hop. LL's, yeah, you don't know nothing about, or L's, you don't know nothing about music or hip-hop culture. You should sit back and relax a little bit, my boy. This guy says, hip-hop was created in my town. I'm of the culture, live the culture. You only learn the genre. Now teach me how to crip walk or make a 6'4" bounce. Other than that, y'all ain't saying a word. So, I don't know, Wack ducks West Coast Cam, asking him to come sit down. So then if we slide over to West Coast Cam's page, I see here the Wack, West Coast Cam. Let's talk about it on No Jumper, unless y'all scared to have me on there. I can address that and address your boy Vlad. This is in Peter Roseberg. This is what we just read, right? And he's saying, I don't do Clubhouse. Then he says, Wack, let's talk then, respectfully. And you see cats reacting, I would love to have this convo. I want in too. They don't want none of that Cam smoke. So I don't think I see, oh no, Wack is in the comments here. Wack says, people you call culture vultures are the people that open doors for the culture. I guess ones that get mad are the ones the culture rejects. Then Brother Lopez says, Wack, shaking my head. West Coast Cam says, opening them new slave ship doors, LOL. So Wack doesn't say anything back, but it sounded like, I don't know, it didn't sound like Wack was responding, once again, kind of ducking that question. What do y'all think? It seems like he wanted Cam to come to Clubhouse, and Cam is saying, no, let's do it front and center on No Jumper for the whole world to see, not just the 100 side of the blogosphere, you know what I mean? Because let's keep it real, man. When it comes to the 100 side and all that, it's mostly drama-ish, that Wack screaming on people and stuff that gets clipped up and chopped up and lives on in the blogosphere, not like a respectful sit-down combo, right? So then, let's see right here. He tags
all the different fools, like from the way he has the Alchemist joint. He has Mustard he's bringing back. Like, that's keeping it West. And all the way. And this is what happens when fools are unifying and dissing other people as opposed to internal conflict, which we're so prone to.
Can we just acknowledge how corny it is seeing all of these washed LA rap personalities who are like basically on Twitter acting as if this is their W? It's like, no, Kendrick caught a big W. His team caught a big W. Yeah. Your career is still in the trash cans. You got 5,000 Twitter likes. I feel you. I know it feels good, but don't be acting like this is a W for you. Your shit is still washed. A lot of people. I ain't naming no names. I'm just saying that there's a lot of West Coast personalities trying to claim this body, and it ain't working. Like, you are washed.
It's a dub. It's a dub for K. At the end of the day, that's it.
How do they hop back in? They jump into beef?
It's just, you've seen a lot of people whose careers are totally watched who want to become hip hop commentators as soon as there's something like big to compensate on, you know?
Kendrick.
Give me some light.
My bad, y'all. I had to turn the volume down and get up off that. I thought at one point the Adam clip was done. That's why I originally put the volume down. But he says, Euro colonizers, it's just their nature. No jumper, Adam22. Am I invited or am I washed? Hold on, let's see the whole.
Alchemist joint. He has mustard.
Again, they
and nobody purchases the chipmunks called in need of a superhero. I'm the one.
They rap personalities who are like basically on Twitter acting as.
So I think I caught it all, but basically he's saying right here is using his platform to Willie Lynch. So divide, aging us out. So it seems West Coast Cam is taking that like as directed at him because he was saying, I'm a West Coast vet, all this. I mean, you see what it said, you know what I'm saying? Y'all can break that down for yourself, but it seems he's saying, am I invited or am I washed? So it seems West Coast Cam is trying to sit down with Adam22 with Wack, but Wack ducked the question. And I don't know, man. Like Adam22, you seen that? He said a lot of West Coast vets that are washed up, old, are trying to, you know, use Kendrick catching a dub to become hip hop commentators and all that. And it looked like West Coast Cam to me was saying, so what, you're all of a sudden the main commentator, Adam22, you're the gatekeeper on this ish and West Coast affairs and all that. You know what I mean? So jump in the comments, share your thoughts. Like Wack clearly ducked him. To me, let's see if Wack responded anywhere else. I mean, and you see he's promoting Academics hits the 100 side, a Clubhouse TV. Why has he got a picture of Vlad though when he's saying Academics? I don't know though, man. It's pretty crazy. What do y'all think, man? Once Waxing Cam was talking about no jumper, Fluck Clubhouse. You don't want to have that convo. What's your thoughts about it all? And what Adam22 was saying about these washed up West Coast artists trying to, you know what I mean, use the Kendrick Drake beef to jump into the mix and all that. I mean, it's pretty crazy, man. Adam22 he says a lot of wildish, man. You know what I mean? Especially when he was running with that 22-ster personality. Y'all remember that? And then individuals ended up running into, what was that guy's name with this whole lot of cough syrup? Desto Dub. And then Adam was walking it back and apologizing when Ish hit the fan. And then, you know what I mean? He's back to talking greasy. I don't know. Let me know what you think about it. It's Coffee signing out. Peace.